Welcome to Psychic Insights, where pop culture meets higher consciousness and the tea is always a little bit mystical. I'm Robin Richardson, your psychic girlfriend, and around here we don't just watch the drama unfold. We read the energy behind it, whether it's celebrity scandals, reality TV, chaos, or true crime with a twist. I'm tuning in to bring you the intuitive scoop the headlines miss. So buckle up, because your aura's about to get entertained. Welcome back to my channel. It's Robin Richardson, your psychic girlfriend. And this is the case that keeps on giving. Oh, my God. So last night I stayed up a little late and couldn't sleep after watching 2.5 hours with Laura Niedeigh, the Court of Random Opinion. Bruce the Moose was on there, and Patrick, the attorney, commentators, and fascinating. So I want to, before I start this episode on my psychic insights, my thoughts, my personal opinions, my critiques, these are protected under freedom of speech. So come at me if you want. I don't care. Yes, I haven't had a lot of coffee. I think my coffee's decaf right now. That's not helping. But anyways, go support them. Subscribe to their channels. Give them some love. And thank you for being here. So, my last video, we talked about what happens when illusion finally breaks and when truth pushes through, no matter how tightly someone tries to hold it down. And that's exactly what we're watching continue to unfold in the Laura Owens case. And I've been following this for a while. Started watching this with Dave Neal. Go check out his channel for all the playlists on Laura Owens. It's pretty fascinating. And Megan Fox, of course, too. Dang. Like, my head is, my mind is blown by this woman. Makes me question a lot about her parenting, her brain capacity, and if you've watched the raid videos, and I don't like to comment on people's appearances, but it seems like she's not feeding her body or her brain, because some of this stuff is just a clown car. And I used to work for a woman who was really super smart and powerful, and she's like, I don't need the clown cars. I'm like, yeah, you and me both, sister. You and me both. But this is a clown car. So, the witness list that Laura provided is definitely one. All right. So let me bring you up to speed a little bit. Laura Owens is the woman who falsely accused former Bachelor star Clayton Echard of impregnating her with twins. The only problem was the only kind of intimacy that occurred was of the oral variety. Make that make sense. Someone wasn't given sexual education, I guess, or she failed. Anyway, investigations later showed her story didn't add up and that she had fabricated evidence, falsified documents, and manipulated witnesses. So, as of now, she's facing 7 felony charges when she could have just done like the rest of us when we get rejected. Go to the gym, we cut our hair, we get bangs, whatever, we eat too much Ben and Jerry's, maybe we have a lot of rosé, and we watch the Hallmark Channel. But not Laura. Nope. This girl she just can't let go. And this is what this case is about. This is an ongoing DVRO case, a domestic violence restraining order involving one of her other victims, Mike Marraccini, who finally, I hate to say this, Mike, because I love you, got a spine, got a set, and hired 2 powerful attorneys, Omar Serrato, the Tilted lawyer, and Rachel Juarez. And if you went back to a couple of my episodes ago when I was talking about him, when this DVRO case started to get back into the public awareness, because Laura's seeking a permanent one, I said, dude, you've got to, like it was so strong in the energy that you need to have the attorney for the ages, and he does. So yay. Okay. So that's where we are today, and both sides just released their witness lists, and the energy around them tells a story all of its own. And you know me, I pick my cards. And, the witness lists were already submitted, one from Laura, one from Mike. And Judge Gold, who, I don't know, kind of like her, has already ordered that all evidence and testimony stay within a time frame of 2020 through 2025, and that no written declarations would be accepted, and everyone must appear in person. That could be problematic for a woman facing 7 felonies in Maricopa County, Arizona. We will see what happens with that. But Laura, our girl, she don't like to follow instructions. I think she didn't learn anything in kindergarten. Like to play nice, to follow instructions. Okay. Yeah, she don't like to be told what to do. Go back and watch some of her raid videos. This chick. I'm just like, what planet are you on? Someone knocking at my door with, full SWAT gear. I'd be like, can I make you coffee? Do what you ever have to do. Anyway, they wouldn't show up here. I got nothing here. I got good coffee, though. All right. So Laura's list doesn't follow the instructions. Some of her witnesses date back earlier than 2020, and several names don't appear to have any, and I mean any, direct connection to our current claims. And then we've got Mike's list. His is short, sharp, and focused. Each person listed is tied directly to his case, the time period, or verifiable evidence. The difference tells you everything. We have quantity, everything in the kitchen sink, versus clarity. One side is building a story, and the other side is building a case. I really want to go to this trial. I really do. I'm going to have to figure out how to make that happen. We'll see. I think it's next week, so probably not. Anyway. All right. From an intuitive perspective, the energy of these lists are fascinating. Laura's energy reads like fox, clouds, and book. And I pulled Lenormand cards. I'm not going to show them all because I picked a lot of them. And that's just basically a pattern of trying to outsmart exposure. She thinks she's smarter than everyone else, but I highly think that she passed 4th grade. I think that her teachers must have been, encouraged to pass her, because she's just out of control. Certainly no consequences. She tries to spin the narrative through confusion and documentation. Okay. It's the storyteller archetype at its shadow level, using narrative to control perception. Meanwhile, Mike's side carries the sun and anchor frequency. There's no surprise there. He's all about clarity, stability, and calm confidence. There's a groundedness that says, here's the truth, take it or leave it. And remember, energetically, the courts always favor structure over chaos, and clarity will always outshine noise. Okay? So we got that going for us. So let's talk about the judge, Judge Gold. I like Judge Gold. I think she's going to like Rachel. The presiding judge in this DVRO case. She's known for being firm but fair. She has already made it clear that this case must stay within the facts, not theatrics. Symbolically, she embodies the lily and tower archetypes, which is grace and structure, wisdom with boundary. She's the energetic opposite of chaos, and that's a good person to have on the bench. And that's why the expanded 2025 window matters. It gives Laura some flexibility, but it also gives the judge a clear container to rule from. The moment Laura oversteps that, the scythe energy appears. It's swift. It's a swift correction. It's sharp boundaries, and it's the karmic cleanup. In this case, I like it. Okay. All right. So the cards for this case told us a lot. Sun, Clover, that means clarity wins. And luck follows those who stay truthful. We know Laura can't do that. And we've seen that before. She doesn't really know what truth is or means. It's her own truth. And, that's not reality. Fox plus book, deception around what's written or documented. Anchor and moon, emotional accountability and public exposure. Clouds plus birds plus ship is uncertainty, conversations, and eventual forward motion, which is what we want. When I clarified further, we got house, tree, and snake. And that's long-term dysfunction rooted in instability. And we see this with her. The slow poisoning of truth through repetition. I need more coffee. But also the beginning of healing when it's finally confronted. So my thought came as, this is probably a good thing for Laura. In a lot of cases, she's being held accountable. She's not winning any of her cases. And she's going to have some time to think about her life choices. And hopefully she will get the help she needs. And I really, truly hope that for her. But let's get back to it. Judge Gold's overlay. And I pulled cross, lily, and fish. And for her, this is all about ethical discernment, patience, and balance between justice and compassion. It's the energy of someone who will see through the confusion and do what's right. Okay? So I have got confidence that Judge Gold is the right judge for this case, unlike Judge Judy. Could have all been saved a long time ago, this woman. Anyway, all right, so then I asked, will there be more charges? And I pulled woman, letter, and whip. And this is written evidence, official paperwork, and repeated accountability. And it suggests, new filings or legal consequences could emerge once these testimonies are heard. And that's what I've been feeling all along. It's like, okay, this woman doesn't want to stop, so the truth is not going to stop, and consequences are not going to stop, and the consequences will at some point stop her. I kind of get an image of her being in prison, still holding on to this narrative, which breaks my heart because it's like, wow, even prison won't do the job for you. But it's my hope that she gets some personal help, seriously. And if it shows up in prison, great. So everybody's question last night was, will she show up in person? And I pulled Key, Garden, and Coffin. It's mandatory she shows up, but it's heavy. And I pulled Stork, Scythe, and Ring. It's movement, sudden enforcement, and obligation. And that basically means that she'll appear because she has to, not because she wants to. So look for that. We haven't seen a filing on her getting permission to leave the state of Arizona because, remember, 7 felonies. But we'll keep an eye on that. All right. So if you're just discovering this story, just understand this isn't just about one woman or one case. It's really about what happens when illusion meets evidence, when someone's personal narrative collides with collective accountability. We talked about last time the masks falling off, and these witness lists, they are the sound of the mask is hitting the floor. Everyone who steps forward now becomes part of the energy of truth. The universe ultimately is the final witness. I'm really, really curious who's going to step on the stand for Laura and be willing to risk their own personal peace for a woman who really doesn't understand what consequences are and truth. Anyway. All right. So if you found this helpful, subscribe for updates, ring that bell. I'll be covering the hearing and its energy as it unfolds. I'm sure you're going to see me again shortly because I know more is going to hit. And if you've missed my last video, go and watch that next. It sets up the emotional and spiritual pattern we're seeing come to light now. Remember, truth always surfaces, and it may take time, but energy never lies. I'm your host, Robin Richardson. This is Psychic Insights. And thank you from the bottom of my heart for supporting my work. And if you have a comment, please comment and let me know what you'd like to see next. Maybe Buttons the horse may have something to say. I'll talk to you later. See you in the next one.